Music is a powerful tool. It soothes the soul, helps heal, and unites. Music therapy is turning out to be very instrumental in helping children with chronic or life-threatening illnesses. Hello, I'm Cheryl Jennings, and I am here at the beautiful Camp Arroyo in Livermore, visiting the Taylor Family Foundation. It is a place where children can feel safe and have fun. They're supported by an amazing group of people. In the next half hour, you'll meet some of these inspiring people who are changing lives and helping kids know they are not alone, all through the power of music. So the Taylor Family Foundation has been around now for 28 years. Can you believe it?
No, because if I take it and I deduct 28 years off my age, I'm like, oh my God, I was so young when I started this. It's almost half my life that I've been doing it. In '90, we created our own nonprofit, and for the first 7 years of that, it was only for children with AIDS, and we were just supporting social and medical programs. And then I went up and saw camp and thought, oh, we can just build one of these. You know, how hard was that? So '97, so it took 3 years actually from finding land to opening the doors of camp. So this will be our 27th year and our 17th year at camp. Yeah, so a long time.
It's a legacy.
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean,
for all the families who benefit?
For all the families, yes, and for the sense of family, like in the pediatric AIDS community, when most of those children were fostered or being raised by grandparents or friends and that kind of thing. I mean, it really created a home base for them, you know, and a lot of these camps are the same way.
The Taylor Family Foundation's budget for a camp a year runs about $1.2 million.
We have a fundraising side of the house and a program side of the house. And so we get a lot of in-kind, which is huge for a program. And then we do urgent need, which are children and families that have an immediate medical crisis or an immediate family crisis, that they could lose their apartment because they can't pay rent or can't pay their insurance premium. So we spend a lot of our money on our programs and on our kids, but then we try and save some money. So the goal is to get us self-sustaining so we don't have to work quite as hard at fundraising. And I always have said, can you imagine what we could do if we didn't have to fundraise? I always think of that because so much of our time is spent fundraising.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
I want to take you back just to the music therapy for a minute.
It's so important because it stimulates their brain and nerve tissue. And so for kids who've had any kind of brain injury, including a brain tumor, you know, because they're all going to have a surgery. They have to, and you don't know what the deficit will be after their surgery. So stimulating those neural pathways and getting them to recall, whether it be something old memory or new memory, you know, like writing a song. They have to memorize something that is immediate. So that's short-term memory. Teaching kids the alphabet to music or times tables or the state capitals. You know, I've got a 28-year-old daughter that still sings the state capital song. You know, music works to learn with. And so not only is it emotional and, you know, it's good for your heart and it makes you feel good and it gets you dancing or moving, but it really has some positive power for your brain.
I think it allows them to open up without them even realizing they're opening up. I think that it is true. They don't want to talk about it. It's almost as if even as young as they are, they take on this caregiving role where they don't want to be a burden without really knowing emotionally what they're going through. And music therapy offers them that opportunity to, for lack of a better term, have fun and express their feelings.
And the whole group is involved, so it even makes them more of a community. Like, I can imagine when those kids are singing that song what it's like, because they've all lived it, you know. And being a person who's lived it, it's hard. It's really hard. So if you have that engagement, it makes you feel like you're not walking this path alone.
Do you get feedback from the kids after they leave camp or from the parents as to how the kids did because of the music?
Yeah, you know, the feedback from the kids, yes, is, oh my God, it was awesome. I love the drums. I love the bongos. From the parents, it's more in depth. It's more of, I had no idea my child felt this way. I loved to see what my child wrote, you know, and I've had parents mention that to me with tears in their eyes. I think music therapy is pure magic. It unlocks parts of the brain that we aren't aware of, that the medical community is still trying to figure out, and it just is, to watch it unfold is one of the coolest things I've seen in the history of my job.
Coming up, learn how children are dealing with the loss of a loved one through music.
When they sit down and they start singing a song, it's really powerful.
Dealing with the loss of a loved one is devastating. For children who've lost a parent or a sibling, it can be a confusing and lonely time. Camp Hope is a place where they can be with other children who are going through the same thing. It's a safe environment where they know that they are not alone.
My family is very, very short. I lost them, most of them by suicide. My dad, one of my uncles, because he missed my dad so much, and yeah.
You were so sad.
Yeah, and they were just lost without my dad.
What happened in your family that brought you here?
The thing that happened in my family was my dad dying. I'm pretty sure he was taking his medication, but probably took too much, and then his heart just stopped.
So my dad died last November on the 24th, and he had a heart attack during work.
Recently, in May, I think it was, this last summer, my dad died from a lung disease. So, yeah, that's why I'm here.
One of the common themes I heard from the kids is they felt so isolated at home. There's
Yes.
nobody, no kid their age could ever understand what they're going through.
Well, they think there's no other kid because nobody talks about it. But there are a lot of campers here who actually find that they do have classmates that have gone through the same thing. It's just really hard to take that risk and talk about it openly. We give them permission to grieve in all depth and complexity of what grief is.
Can you feel the rhythm today?
My company is In Harmony Music Therapy Services, and we contract with the Taylor Family Foundation to provide all their music therapy services at their hospital and medical facilities, and then here at camp for all the different groups that come and use the campgrounds. So it could be that the kids, need a place to be where they can be social and bond with other kids who have the same conditions that they do. And so through music making and drumming and instrument playing and singing, we provide that opportunity for them to get to know each other, but in a fun way. Or for specific camps, like here at Camp Hope, they have specific goals like self-expression and coping with emotion. So then we'll use music to help them feel their emotions and talk about their emotions through songwriting and other music activities that talk about feelings and express their feelings through drumming and things like that.
Hear all these rhythms, his rhythm today. Hear all these rhythms, his rhythm.
When they go home from here, are they able to better communicate with their surviving relatives?
Yeah, we talk a lot about that, the importance of not protecting families. Kids often will keep it to themselves and not want to burden their family members, and we talk about the importance that just because your family member gets sad when you might be talking about it isn't a bad thing, and that can actually be a really good thing and open up the lines of communication.
When they sit down and they start singing a song, songs are so powerful. And then they start talking about their grief and writing a poem with the music. And then they write a letter to their loved ones and talk about what they're missing and how much they miss them, and they wish that they could say goodbye one more time. And so in music therapy, they actually write a letter to their loved ones. And each one of them sing their letter, and then they send it off. It's really powerful.
I remember when we fished together. When you died, I was so sad. I hope to put special things in my box to remember you, like pictures of cars that me and him used to work on, and pictures of me and my mom. And then I put love, David.
That's beautiful.
It's a great place, and I've learned a lot so far from others, and I've learned different problems that they've had, but how they got through it, and I feel a lot better here. I feel more understood, and the counselors are really nice. They take care of us. Yeah, it was really nice here. I like it. I'm sad we're leaving tomorrow.
And it makes me feel very happy that I'm in a similar place with similar people, because they know how it feels and I know how it feels, and we try to make each other feel good.
Yeah, so it's going to take a while for all of the pain to go away. But you wrote a letter. Do you mind sharing it?
I did, yeah. Dear Dad, I'm writing you this letter to tell you that you have inspired me to do much greater things than I ever believed I could do. Lately, I have been feeling lonely, but don't worry about me, because I know you are in a better place, and I have an amazing community around me to be with you and talk to my friends. I can feel better by playing music, hanging out with friends, and writing songs. One more thing I want to say is that I love you and I will make you proud. From your son, Blake.
Beautiful. When we come back, Shriners Hospital in Sacramento is going beyond medicine with the help of music.
It's an awesome way to take, all the senses and to incorporate it into a fun activity that they can just make all the noise they want and be a kid in even a short amount of time.
Music therapy is proving to be key in helping children with life-threatening or chronic illnesses begin to heal as well as thrive. The Taylor Family Foundation is sharing their music program with Shriners Hospital for children in Sacramento. The partnership is having a positive impact on the children and their families.
Shriners is important to us because our campers come through this hospital, and the care they receive, not only just as individual little people, but the entire family unit, that's what we want to see. We want to see the whole family walk through the journey of a child who's not well. And that's what we believe camp is. So it just seemed natural to have this collaboration.
When we're in the hospital setting, a lot of our children are in a lot of pain. And so when we're dealing with pain and how basically the brain perceives pain, what we want to do is give the brain something else to focus on. That way they focus on perhaps the music and then they don't feel the pain. It's called the gate control theory of pain. So it acts like a gate. You've got pain coming in, and then there's this other strong stimulus, such as music, and so the gate closes on the pain and opens to the music.
A big component is really bringing that normalization back in for our kids after a big traumatic time in their life. So we use a lot of the same goals for physical therapy and occupational therapy, and definitely the developmental part to transition back home and get back to their high quality of life.
It takes them away from what they do on a day-to-day basis with procedures and dressings and things like that, and be able to do something fun and participate, playing music, playing the instruments, even writing songs.
They can just relax and let go, sing, shake things up, pound on anything, and really express their emotions.
I think it does a number of things. I think just bringing joy and a sense of play at the very minimal helps with the circumstances in a hospital, but I also see it as a way for the kids to help express themselves, whether they're writing music and making their own songs about themselves, about their hospital experience. It's a good way for them to have that expression. For the littler ones, they're able to just explore different sounds, and they're all about exploring their environment. So it's an awesome way to take, all the senses and to incorporate it into a fun activity that they can just make all the noise they want and be a kid in even a short amount of time.
The music therapy program you are bringing to this place and to other places for free.
Yes, our Sophie's Place mobile music therapy program, yeah, it's amazing, and we strongly believe in it, and insurance doesn't cover it. So let's take it to the hospitals, let's get it in front of the kids, let's get it in front of the parents, and help distract a little bit of what's going on. Can you imagine putting a 4-year-old down for an MRI? That's unnerving, not only for the child, the patient, but also for a mom.
The parents get the benefit of the music as well.
Yes, and then it transfers back to the child. When they go back and play with their kid and they're able to sing with them and play, hey, what song did you learn? This is what I did. And then we're going back and forth and getting back to that normalization of interacting, and we're getting better, and it's okay, we're going through this together.
When we come back, John Muir Health is taking patient care to new heights with some heart and soul.
So it's really great that in that time we could just focus on music and each other and just have a good time.
Music is a universal language. Everybody can relate to music in one way or another, especially children. It's fun, non-threatening, and brings them together, leaving behind the stigma of their illness or disease. John Muir Medical Center in Walnut Creek is partnering with the Taylor Family Foundation to bring music therapy to its patients. And that's music to the ears of many.
Music has helped me in a way where sometimes people can't. Sometimes lyrics connect with me so much that I can't really explain to my friends or family because they don't know exactly what I'm going through. And sometimes it helps me realize that I'm not alone. Other people out there are feeling the way I feel, and it's pretty comforting knowing that.
The music therapy program is really amazing and a huge asset to John Muir Health. They provide our wonderful music therapist, Lauren, who comes in with such energy and excitement every time she comes. Music is such a large part of kids' lives. People have music on their phones and on their computers, and it's streaming constantly, and so we want to bring some of that here, and she does that with such amazing talent and enthusiasm.
To each other on a crowded street.
The best thing, honestly, is Lauren. Like, she's amazing. She comes in with the brightest smile, and she just lifts up my spirits right away. The time that she's with me, I forget everything. I forget that I'm in a hospital. I forget that the time I'll be getting chemo or the time I'll be getting a shot. So it's really great that in that time we could just focus on music and each other and just have a good time. She makes me feel like I'm not sick, like I'm not different from everyone else. I'm just a normal person jamming to some songs.
Yeah, so it's a little bit uncomfortable for a little bit. I think music therapy just gives kids the opportunity to feel normal and be normal and express themselves.
There's been a ton of stuff published about music therapy and the demonstrated benefits in pediatrics, and one of them, they actually looked at the heart rate. So they did music therapy with a group, and the heart rate of these children went down for 4 to 8 hours after the music therapy session. There's something that happens, and I think as we connect to that, that gives them something to look forward to.
When it starts the show, it helped me get distracted from the chemo and whenever I don't feel good at the hospital.
So she's overcoming leukemia, specifically ALL, acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Each day is a new day. We don't know how things are going, but the hospital has provided great support, and music therapy is one of them. It helps her to distract, to keep her mind away from all the trials we're going through, the disease. So it really keeps her engaged and focusing on something that's positive.
I mean, there are incredible ups and there are incredible downs. So we're talking about children who sometimes have terminal diagnoses, and that's a reality that no one wants to face. And because no one wants to face it, we sometimes turn a blind eye to what they need. So I think music therapy gives us a way to acknowledge their experience of what's going on, and changing their experience can change their entire outcome.
How are our patients doing?
Yeah, doing great.
Really? Music can calm an individual. I think our patients that we treat for cancer with chemotherapy and other modalities are subject to instances of significant discomfort or pain or anxiety. And I firmly believe that music, as part of what I call distraction therapies, can play a significant role in alleviating patients' pain as well as their anxiety.
I am so blessed to have this collaboration with the Taylor Family Foundation. It isn't every day that you meet an organization that really has the best interests of the child at heart and really going above and beyond to really meet the needs of the children they serve, and being able to provide the services we provide to the children without having to navigate the web of trying to get funding for hospitals to see how much value there is to music therapy so they can hire us to provide services to their children. The Taylor Family Foundation has made that so possible for so many kids, because without them, they would never have experienced music therapy as part of their care.
Wells Fargo is a proud supporter of Taylor Foundation's music therapy program. When they came to us and when we saw their excitement, it was a no-brainer. We had to do it. And to see all the smiles on the kids' faces as a result of all the great work that they're doing is really rewarding. We have a huge commitment to the community. It's one of our strategic priorities, and we're always looking for organizations that we can partner with. And so we've been a proud supporter of the Taylor Foundation for more than 10 years, and it's just a partnership that continues to thrive.
There are ways you can help support the Taylor Family Foundation and its incredible work. You can visit the Taylor Family Foundation for more information. I have music in my heart and soul, and I'm sure that you do too. I hope that you feel inspired by the stories we've shared. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye for now.